Everyone, good afternoon. Happy first week of June across the high desert. It's been a gorgeous sun-soaked start, and we're going to continue on this trend with picking up our temperatures each day as we go forward. So buckle up. We're about to take a deep dive in your most reliable forecast. Look at what's been happening, what's on the way, and what you can expect as we go forward through this first week of June. We do have some big changes expected, and those changes include our warming trend. So when we start off by looking out across central Oregon, one thing that we're noticing is there is very little cloud cover inside. There is a little bit of haze. That haze is due in part to some prescribed burns. It looks like the Prineville Reservoir camera is a little messy, but we can see the clear sky above where it's glitching out. Now in the Bend camera on top of the ODOT building, you can see out to where that prescribed burn was, where that haze is. Now when it comes to air quality, we're not sitting in the green this afternoon. Where you're seeing those little flames, that's where we have hot spots via satellite imagery. And earlier this afternoon, some of these real-time sensors were showing orange, or unhealthy for sensitive groups. Most specifically, the Sun River one and one on the south side of Bend. Now, winds are coming out of the north, so that's pushing that smoke further to the south. And we can actually see where we have these two prescribed. Let me get rid of this one real quick and pull the right one in. There we go. So we can actually see where we have some of that prescribed burn putting out some of that smoke. The one near Sisters is pushing smoke down the 20 corridor towards Tumalo and Bend, and the Big Eddy one, the block one, number one, that's just to the southwest of Bend. That's also pushing smoke down the 97 corridor. And when we look at the bigger picture, we see the two different prescribed burns, but I put some details on there for the Big Eddy block one. That one's 5 miles to the southwest of Bend, 7 miles northeast of Sun River. The one outside of Sisters is just to the northeast, still on the Highway 20 corridor, getting closer to Camp Sherman and Black Butte Ranch. And it's about halfway between Sisters and Black Butte, and that's the one that's pushing smoke into the greater Sisters area as well. And we did get a picture of the prescribed burn from Lava Butte that was just to the southwest of Bend, and this was taken earlier today. Thank you to Paul Evanson for sharing that one with us. But as we go forward, we're keeping winds a little on the breezy side. Gusts are between 10 and 20 miles per hour, so not too bad at all. But when we actually look at those wind speeds, they're about 5 to 15 miles per hour, which is right on target with the forecast, but adding that smoke, and it's pushing that smoke further to the south. It's been getting a little breezy. This trend upwards, this uptick in wind speeds, continues until sunset. After that, we're back down to a gentle breeze. And by tomorrow, it is going to get breezy during the afternoon and evening hours once again. And then by Wednesday, not as strong of winds, but those winds are going to be making a comeback just a little bit. So let's go ahead and look at our satellite and radar. What we can expect through the next few days is more sunshine than clouds, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. Closest precipitation is scattered showers over Idaho and Montana going the other way, so not much to worry about there. And when we look at enhanced infrared satellite imagery, we don't see too much over the Tri-County area, and that's because of a broad ridge of high pressure. And we do have pressure isobars on there. These are constant lines of pressure, and when they stack up next to each other, we call that a steep gradient, and that's where winds are a little stronger, and it goes all the way out over the coastline. So it is breezy over the high desert, coming all the way back to this ridge of high pressure. Now it's a broad and strong ridge of high pressure that gradually works its way east, parking itself over the Pacific Northwest through the next couple of days. Now coupled with that high pressure, we have a very dry air mass over central Oregon and most of the Pacific Northwest. That dry air mass stays with us as well, keeping us not only dry but sunny, and that warming trend is going to stay with us. And it's a modest warming trend, each day picking up a little bit more, but as of this Monday so far, as of just before 5 o'clock, we have between 70s and a few spots closer to 80 degrees up near Warm Springs. That Sun River sensor looks like it's malfunctioning. We'll get back to that. There you go. There's one that shows 66 degrees in Sun River. But ultimately, we're still near those high temperatures that we were looking at today, and it's running between 1 and 7 degrees warmer than it was just 24 hours ago. So a modest bump in temperatures, but that warming trend continues, and when you add that all up, we're looking at a big warm up by this weekend. So when we look across central Oregon tonight, we're falling back into the 40s with some 30s. By tomorrow, mid to some upper 70s, few low 80s possible, but few and far between. And then On top of that, the UV intensity forecast shows that we're looking at tons of sunshine, direct intense sunshine for the entire day. So we have very high UVI through the day tomorrow. And then by Wednesday, it dips down a little bit from 10 to 8, and that's because some additional cloud cover bumps back up Thursday. But by Friday, we have more clouds, not so much temperatures, but enough cloud cover to knock us back into the high range. But when it comes to very high UV intensity, you'll want to make sure you bring that sunscreen, bring your shades, and if you're spending a lot of time outside, you might want to think about a hat or protective clothing, UPF instead of SPF. Otherwise, just seek the shade and stay hydrated. And if you need to, just avoid the sun. Now, when it comes to our temperature trend, we know that today it's just been gorgeous. In the next couple of days, it's going to be bumping up day by day. So by Tuesday, still awesome conditions, tons of sunshine, highs in the 70s, very few 80s to speak of. By Wednesday, we go up into the mid to upper 70s. So that modest bump in temperatures. Some 80s are going to be possible and a little bit of extra cloud cover. By Thursday, we're looking at tons of sunshine, no rain in sight, highs in the 80s with a few 70s. So you notice that we're picking up a little bit each day. That trend continues. By the time we hit Thursday, Friday, we're looking at 80s. By the time we hit Saturday and Sunday, we're reaching into the 90s, and that's because this high pressure is the dominant feature across the Pacific Northwest, and it's not budging anytime soon, allowing temperatures to get even warmer each day. That translates to no precipitation in sight. Our forecast model shows just that. By tomorrow afternoon, a few clouds. By Wednesday afternoon, more sunshine is expected. By the time we get to Thursday, we're looking at tons of sunshine, no rain in sight. And then going to the GFS model, that long-range forecast model, it just shows that by Friday we get some additional clouds, a weak trough pushing through, but no rain in sight. Saturday and Sunday brings the return of that sunshine. And then even into Monday of next week, we're still only looking at some increasing clouds. So between now and Wednesday at 11 p.m., we're dry. Now, some of the forecast models do have a few sprinkles. I'm just not banking on a lot of that actually reaching the ground. So for tonight, 40s are expected with a few 30s out there. By the time we hit Tuesday afternoon, we're talking mid-70s, some upper 70s, a few lower 80s, and that warming trend just continues through the rest of this week, through this week, and no real rain to speak of, no significant rainfall at all. Now, winds will be breezy at times, picking up each afternoon going into the evening. Some in and out clouds are expected, but even lows are through the 40s, reaching into the 50s. So your weather headlines for this Monday, June the 2nd, a beautiful first week of June and a warming first week of June. We're going to stay dry. It's going to be sun-soaked and breezy at times. So don't forget that UV is cranking up, that ultraviolet index is cranking up, and that means you just have to wear more sunscreen or protective clothing, but temperatures are also picking up. So that is the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News with the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. If you have any questions, drop